In 1999, I was a beginner to Vedanta. Around then, our Guru Swami Brahmaprajnananda took us to Kedarnath. When I fervently prayed for moksha then, little did I know that Shiva had unleashed his torrent of blessings. From 1999 to Feb 2024, Bhagavan Shiva has made it possible for me to have his darshan at the kshetras of the 12 Jyotirlingas. Jyotirlinga is a combination of two words, Jyotihi and Linga. Jyoti meaning light, radiance, and Linga meaning a column or a form or a sign which indicates. The Shiva Mahapurana tells us that once Brahmaji, the god of manifestation, and Vishnu, the one who maintains a function of sustenance, had an argument over their supremacy. To settle the debate, Shiva stepped in and, piercing the three worlds, appeared as a huge, infinite pillar of light, the Jyotirlinga. They wanted to find out where the light had ended, and so Vishnu assumed his Varaha avatara to go to the bottom. And Brahmaji rode a hamsa, a swan, and leapt to the highest point he could go. Exhausted, both could not find either end of that brilliant light. Brahmaji lied that he had discovered the end of the light and even produced a ketaki flower as proof, while Vishnu honestly admitted that he could not find the end of the light from his journey. The dishonesty of Brahmaji angered Shiva and caused him to curse that Brahmaji would not be worshipped, and we find that to be true. He also declared that Vishnu would be eternally worshipped for his honesty. And so the Jyotirlinga shrines are these sacred kshetras where Shiva appeared as a fiery column of light. The Shiva Mahapurana, especially the Koti Samhita section and the Shatarudra Samhita section, have wonderful verses which talk about the glory and greatness of the Shivalinga and the Jyotirlingas. It is so lovely to listen to the chants and understand the meaning. Some of the verses in the Koti Samhita section are
Yodhatte nijamayaiva bhuvanakaram vikaro jito Yasyahuhu karuna kataksha vibhavau svargapavargabhidhau Pratyak bodha sukhadvayam hridi sada pashyanti yam yogina Stasmai shaila sutanjitar dvapushe shashvannamastejase. The one who is free from all the blemishes and enshrines all the 14 bhuvanas in himself, with the slightest compassion of whom a person achieves all the fortunes as well as moksha, whom the yogis blissfully meditate upon in their hearts. Such an illustrious Shiva always has Parvati on his left. I offer my namaskara to such a great Lord. Kripa lalita vikshanam smita manognya vaktrambujam shashanka kalayo jajvalam shamita ghora tapatrayam karotu kimapi spurat parama saukhya satchit vapur dharadhara Sutta bhujodvalayitam maho mangalam. Shiva is full of compassion, and as such he is so pleasant to look at. He wears a serene smile over the face. He is resplendent with the digit of the moon. He is the remover of all three types of distress, Adidaivika, Adibhautika as well as Adhyatmika, whose existence and wisdom shed brightness, and who is encircled with the arms of the daughter of the mountain, that is Parvati. Sarvesham Shivalinganam Mune Sankhya na vidyate Sarva Lingamai Bhumihi Sarvam Lingamayam Jagat. O sage, there are innumerable Shivalingas in the world, The entire earth is full of lingas. Besides, the entire earth has the form of the linga. Linga yuktani tirthani sarvam lingam pratishtitam Sankhyana vidyate tesham tani kinchid bravimyaham. All the holy places have the form of lingas which are established in mobile and the immobile world. Though they are numberless, still I would like to say something. Yat kinchid drishyate drishyam varnyate smaryate chayat tat sarvam shivarupam hi nanyadastiti kinchana. Whatever is visible in the world or is talked about or is remembered is all in the form of Shiva. There is nothing else except him. Patale chapi vartante svarge chapi tatha bhuvi sarvatra pujyate shambhuhu sadeva suramanushaihi. There are Shivalingas in Swarga as well as in Patala, in the lower loka, because Shiva is worshipped by the Devas, the Asuras, as well as human beings, and therefore the Shiva Lingas are found in all the three worlds. Trijagat Shambhuna Vyaptam Sadeva Suramanusham Anugrahaya Lokanam Linga Rupena Sattamaha. O sages, just as the gods, the asuras and the humans are found in all the three worlds, similarly the Shivalingas which shower their grace on all are similarly found in the form of lingas. Anugrahaya lokanam lingani cha maheshwaraha dadhati vividhan yatra tirthe chanyasthale tatha. For the showering of grace on human beings, the Shivalingas were consecrated in holy as well as other places. Yatra yatra yada shambhu bhaktya bhaktaischa samsvritaha tatra tatravatirthaya karyam kritva sthitastada. Wherever Shiva was remembered with devotion by the devotees, he appeared at such places. And after performing the task of his devotees, he established himself there. Lokanam upakarartham swalingam chapya kalpayat tallingam pujayitva tu siddhim samadhikachati. In order to do good for people, he created the linga. And by worshipping the lingas, the devotees meet with success. Prithivyam yani lingani tesham sankhya na vidyate tathapi cha pradhanani katyante cha maya dvijaha. O Brahmanas, all the lingas of Shiva found on earth are beyond counting, and still I would like to describe the prominent lingas. And then in the rest of the section he goes on to describe the prominent Jyotirlingas and a few others. Some of the verses in the Shatarudra section are Nandishvara Uvacha Avatara Shrunu Vibhot Dvadasha Pramitan Paran Jyotirlinga Swarupan Vai Nanoti Karakan Mune. Nandishvara said, O sage, now please listen to the incarnation of Shiva as the 12 Jyotirlingas of Shiva who indulge in various types of divine sport. Kedaro himavat prishthe dakin yam bhima shankaraha Varanasyam cha vishveshas trembako gautami tate Saurashtre somanathascha Shri Shaile Malikarjunaha Ujjayinyam Mahakala Omkare Jamareshwaraha Vaidyanathaschita Bhumau Nagesho Darukavane Setubandhe cha Ramesho Ghushmeshascha Shivalaye. These Jyotirlingas include Somanatha in Saurashtra, Mallikarjuna over Sri Shaila, Mahakala in Ujjain, Amareshwara in Omkareshwara, Kedara in Himalaya, Bhima Shankara in Dakini, Vishveshwara in Varanasi, Trembaka over the bank of the river Gautami, Vaidyanatha at Chitbhumi, Nagesha in Darukavana, and Rameshwara at Setubandha and Ghushmesha at Shivalaya. Avatar Dvashakame Tachambhov Paratmanaha Sarvanandakaram Pumsam Darshanat Sparshanan Mune. O sage, these are the 12 incarnations of Shiva, the limitless Atma, which bestows pleasure by just a gaze at them or even with the touch of the same. Tatradya somanatho hi chandra dukkha shayankaraha kshaya kushtadiroganam nashakav pujanan mune. O Rishi, in the first incarnation of Somanatha, the Lord had removed the miseries of the moon. One is relieved of ailments like leprosy and other diseases by adoring Shiva in this form. Shivavatara somesho linga rupena samstitaha saurashtre shubhadeshe cha shashina pujitav pura. Shiva in the form of Somanatha incarnated in Saurashtra. Shiva in this form was adored by the moon for the first time. Chandrakundam cha tatraiva sarva papa vinashakam tatra snatva naro dhiman sarva rogaif pramuchyate. There is a moon altar there which washes away all the papas. By bathing in this kunda, one is relieved of all diseases. Someshwaram Mahalinga Shivasya Paramatmakam Drishtva Pramuchyate Papad Bhuktim Muktim Cha Vindati. By looking at the Somnath Linga, which happens to be the Atma of Shiva, a person gets relieved of all papa, enjoys pleasure and freedom, mukti. Mallikarjuna samyascha avatarash shankarasya vai dvitiya shri girau tata bhakta bhishta phalapradaha. O dear one, the second Mallikarjuna incarnation of Shiva is located over the Srigiri mountain, which bestows the desired reward to the devotees. Samsuto linga rupena suta darshana hetutaha gatastatra mahapritya sashivasvarigir mune. O sage, this linga was initially adored for the achieving of a son, as a result of which Shiva had arrived here from the Himalayas. Jyotirlinga dvitiyam tad darshanat pujanan mune mahasukhakaram chante muktidam natra samshayaha. O sage, the second Jyotirlinga, by its adoration and just looking at it, bestows comforts and it bestows mukti ultimately. Mahakala vidhastata avatara shankarasya vai ujjayinyam nagaryancha babhu swajanavanaha. O dear one, the Mahakala incarnation of Shiva appeared in the city of Ujjain. He protects his devotees. Dushanakhyasuram yastu veda dharma pramartakam ujjayinyam gatam vipra dveshinam sarvanashanam veda viprasuta dhyato hunkarenaiva saddutam bhasmasat kritavamstam cha Ratnamala Nivasinam. This is the Jyotirlinga which had reduced to ashes the Asura named Dushana, who had arrived there to kill the son of the Brahmana Vedapriya. On being praised, Shiva had arrived there and destroyed the Asura, the enemy of the Brahmanas, and destroyer of the Veda Dharma, by merely uttering the Hunkara, reducing him to ashes. Tam hatva samahakalo Jyotirlingaswarupataha devaisa prarthito tishtas pabhakta paripalakaha. Killing him, Shiva, in the form of Mahakala Jyotirlinga, got himself established there itself at the request of the Devas for the protection of his devotees. Mahamala Vayam Lingam Drishtva Bhyarchya Prayatnataha Sarvan Kamanavapnoti Labhate Parato Gatim. Looking at the Mahakala Jyotirlinga, adoring it by making all the efforts, a person has all his desires fulfilled and he achieves mukti ultimately. Omkara Parameshano Dhrita Shambho Paratmanaha Avataraschaturtho hi Bhakta Bhishta Phalapradaha. The fourth incarnation of Shiva, Paramatma, happens to be the linga named Omkareshwara, which fulfills the desires of his devotees. Vidhina sthapito bhaktya swalingat parthivan mune pradurbhuto mahadevo vindhyakama prapurakaha. O sage, Lord Mahadeva had appeared from his Parthiva linga, which had been appropriately established to fulfill the desires of the Vindhyagiri mountain. Devai samprarthitastatra dvidha rupena samstitaha bhukti mukti prado linga rupo vai bhaktavatsalaha. At the prayer of the Devas, Shiva, the bestower of pleasures and mukti, took to two forms and lodged himself there, being the one who is well disposed towards his devotees. Pranavai chaiva omkara nama sirlingamuttamam parameshwaran ma sita parthivashcha munishwaraha. O Lord of the sages, the excellent linga abides in the syllable omkara. It also abides in the earthen linga in Omkareshwara Mandhata. Bhakta bhishta prado nyeyo yopi drishtorchito mune Jyotirlinge mahadivye varnite te mahamune. O great Muni, whatever is adored in this extremely divine linga described to you bestows the desire of all the devotees. Kedaresho vatarastu panchamah paramashivaha Jyotirlingasvarupena Kedare samstitasacha. The fifth great incarnation of Shiva is the Kedaresha, enshrined at Kedarnath mountain in the form of a Jyotirlinga, radiant light. Naranarayanakhyo yavatarau harer mune tat prarthita shivastasthai kedare himabhudhare. It is lodged at Vishnu's Naranarayana incarnation at the Kedara peak of the Himalaya. Tabhyam cha pujito nityam kedareshwara samyakaha bhakta bhishta pradashambhur darshanad archanadapi. The linga of Shiva, known as Kedareshwara, was adored by Naranarayana. It fulfills the desires of his devotees who adore it. or even have a look at it. Asya khandasya sa swami sarveshopi visheshataha sarvakama pradastat sovatara shivasya vai. In spite of his being the Lord of all, he is particularly the Lord of Kedara Khanda. O dear one, this incarnation of Shiva fulfills all the desires of his devotees. Bhima Shankara Samyastu Shashta Shambho Mahaprabho Avataro Mahalilo Bhimasura Vinashanaha. The sixth incarnation of Shiva, the great Lord, is called Bhima Shankaraha. During this incarnation, Shiva had playfully killed the Asura Bhimasena. Sudakshinabhidham bhaktam kamarupeshwaram vrisham yo rarakshadbhutam hatva suram tam bhakta dukkadam. Shiva in this incarnation killed a terrible Asura who caused terror for the devotees of Shiva and protected the king Sudakshina of Kamarupa. Bhima Shankara Namasa Dakinyam Samsita Swayam Jyotirlingas Swarupena Prarthitastena Shankaraha. Shiva himself is lodged in the form of the linga at the well-known place of Dakini. The king Sudakshina praised him. Vishveshwaravatarastu Kashyam Jato hi Saptamaha Sarva Brahmandarupascha Bhukti Mukti Prado Mune. The seventh incarnation of Shiva in the form of a linga was held at Kashi. O sage, it is the form of the entire universe which bestows pleasure and freedom. Pujita sarvadevaischa bhaktya vishnavadibihi sada kailasapatina chapi bhairavenapi nityashaha. Vishnu and all other devas as well as Kubera and Bhairava are also established there. Jyotirlingas swarupena samstitastatra muktidaha swayam siddha swarupo hi tatha swapuri saprabhuhu. Shiva is lodged there in the form of a Jyotirlinga. In his own city, the Lord is found in the form of a Siddha who confers liberation. Kashi Vishveshayor Bhaktya Tannama Japakarakaha Nirlipta Karmabhir Nityam Kaivalya Padabhaginaha. Of the people who recite the names of Kashi and Vishveshwara and keep on chanting his name with devotion, remain uninfluenced by the karmas, and ultimately achieve the state of Kaivalya. Traimbakakyo vataro yaha soshtamo gautami tate prarthito gautamena virbabhuva shashimaulinaha. The eighth incarnation of Shiva, the moon-crested one, as Traimbaka, who appeared on the banks of the river Gautami at the prayer of the sage Gautama. Gautamasya prarthanaya Jyotirlingas swarupataha stitastatra chalaf pritya tanmune priti kamyaya. When requested by the sage Gautama and in order to delight the sage, the Lord stood there motionless in the form of a Jyotirlinga. Tasya sandarshanat sparshad darshanacha maheshituhu sarve kama prasidhyanti tato muktir bhavedaho. It is quite surprising that with the look and touch of the Lord, all the tasks of the people get established and they achieve mukti ultimately. Shivanugrahastastatra Ganga namna tu Gautami samstito Gautama pritya pavani Shankara priya. By the grace of Lord Shiva, the river Gautami happens to be the beloved of Shiva there, which delights the sage Gautama. Vaidyanatha tarohi navamastatra kirtitaha avirbhuto ravanartham bahulila karav prabhuho. The ninth incarnation in the Linga form of Shiva is known as Vaidyanatha, who emerged for the sake of Ravana, who indulged in different types of Leela, play. Tadanayanna rupam hi vyajam kritva maheshwaraha Jyotirlingas swarupena jita bhumau pratishtitaha. Ravana was carrying Shiva under the pretext of fetching him. But as things turned out, he was installed in the form of a Jyotirlinga in the cremation ground. Vaidyanatheshwaro namna prasiddho bhujagatraye darshanad pujanad bhaktya bhukti mukti pradasahi. The Lord then came to be known as Vaidyanatha in the three worlds. In case one looks at the Lord or worships him with devotion, he attains pleasure as well as liberation. Vaidyanatheshwara Shiva Mahatmyam Manushasanam Pathatam Shrinvatam Chapi Bhukti Mukti Pradam Mune. O sage, the prayers highlighting the greatness of Vaidyanatheshwara earns the devotees the worldly pleasures as well as liberation who read or listen to the same. Nageshwaravatarastu tashamah parikirtitaha avirbhutasvabhaktartham dushtanam dandadassada. The incarnation of Nageshwara is glorified as the 10th one. He incarnated himself for the protection of his devotees and for punishing of adharmic people. Hatva darukanamanam rakshasam dharmaghatakam svabhaktam vaishyanathancha prarakshat supriyabhidham. He, killing the Daruka Asura who was the destroyer of Dharma, saved his devotee named Supriya Vaishya. Lokanam upakarartham Jyotirlingas swarupadrik Santasthau Sambika Shambhur Bahu Leela Karav Paraha. Shiva, who is always engaged in the welfare of the universe, absorbed himself as Jyotirlinga of Samba Sadashiva. Tadrishtva Shivalingam tu Mune Nageshwarabhidham Vinashyanti tutam charchya Mahapatakarashayaha. O sage, by just looking at the linga of Nageshwara and by worshipping him, the terrible papas are washed out. Rameshwaravatarastu Shivasyaikadashasprataha Ramachandra Priyakaro Ramasamsthapito Mune. The 11th incarnation of Shivalinga is known as Rameshwara, which was consecrated by Sri Rama himself. This Jyotirlinga had helped Rama. Dadau Jayavaram Pritya Yo Ramaya Sutoshitaha Avirbhuta Salingastu Shankaro Bhaktavatsalaha. Lord Shiva, having been pleased with the devotion of Rama, had blessed him to be victorious. This Shivalinga appeared at that point of time, since Shiva is known to be very fond of his devotees. Ramena prarthitotyattham Jyotirlingaswarupataha Santasthau setubandhe cha Ramasam sevito mune. O sage, Rama adored and praised Lord Shiva immensely in the Shivalinga, after which the Setu Bandha, the bridge, was built. Rameshwarasya Mahimat Bhuto Bhud Bhuvi Chatulaha Bhukti Mukti Pradaschaiva Sarvada Bhakta Kamadaha. Since that time, the Rameshwara Jyotirlinga is held in great respect and reverence. This linga, fulfilling all the desires of the devotees, bestows liberation. Tam cha ganga jale naiva snapayishyati yo naraha Rameshwaram cha sadbhaktya sajivan mukta evahi. A person who bathes the Rameshwara linga with the water of the Ganga is liberated while living. Iha bhuktva khilan bhogan devata durlabhanapi ataf prapya param jnanam kaivalyam mokshamapnuyat. He enjoys all the divine pleasures on earth which are beyond the reach of the devatas and ultimately achieves moksha. Ghushmeshwaravatarastu dvadasha shankarasya hi nana leela karo ghushma nandado bhaktavatsalaha. Ghushmeshwara is the 12th incarnation of the Shivalinga who, performing several sports, delights Ghushma. Dakshinnasyam dishi mune devashaila samipataha avirbabhuva sarasi Ghushma priyakarav prabhuho. O sage, in the southern region near Devashaila, Lord Shiva had appeared in a tank to please Ghushma, his devotee. Sudehya maritam Ghushma putram sakalyato mune tushtas bhaktita shambhur yo rakshad bhaktavatsalaha. O sage, Shiva, who is fond of his devotees, saved the son of Ghushma from the terror of the asura Sudehya, feeling pleased with the devotion of Ghushma's son. Tat prarthitas savai shambhos tadage tatra kamataha Jyotirlingas swarupena tasthau Ghushmeshwara bhidaha. Feeling pleased with his prayer, Ghushmeshwara, who fulfills all the desires, took to the form of a Jyotirlinga over the bank of the tank. Tam drishtva shivalingam tu samabhyarchya bhaktitaha iha sarvamukham bhuktva tato muktim cha vindati. One who looks at the Shivalinga with devotion and worships it, a devotee enjoys all the worldly pleasures and attains liberation ultimately. Iti tehi samakhyata jyotirlinga valimaya dvadasha pramita divya bhukti bhukti pradayini. Thus I have narrated the glory of all the 12 Jyotirlingas which bestow devotion as well as liberation. Etam Jyotirlinga katham yaf patet shrunuyadapi muchyate sarva papebhyah bhuktim muktim cha vindati Shatarudra bhideyanche yam varnita samhita maya shatavatara satkirtihi sarvakama phalaprada. Whoever listens to the story of these Jyotirlingas or reads it, he is liberated from all the papas, achieves Shatarudriya Samhita, in which the details of the 100 incarnations of Shiva have been spelt out, who fulfills all the desires. Imam yaf pathate nityam shrunuyadva samahitaha sarvan kaman avapnoti tato muktim labhed dhruvam. Whoever will recite this Samhita carefully or even listen to it all his desires will be fulfilled and he will achieve mukti, liberation, ultimately. Iti Shri Shiva Mahapurane Tritiyaayam Shatarudra Samhitayam Sanat Kumara Nandishwara Sambade Dvadasha Jyotirlingavatar Varnanam Nama Dvichatvarimshodhyayaha.
Just as life meanders through the mountains and valleys of different events, blessings also meander through the highs and lows of life. Through these Tirthayatras to the 12 Jyotirlingas, many mini yatras were taken. From an exasperated why me to thank God it's me. From a sense of entitlement to gratitude. From resistance of people and situations to a growing acceptance. From inertia to productivity and dynamism. From skepticism to Shraddha in the Shastra. From I, me, myself to Ishvara and so much more. We undertake Tirthayatras to change the circumstances of our lives and most importantly to change ourselves. And then silently and slowly through the blessings received, one realizes that one has changed so much that one sees oneself as the changeless, that one is the self, the Atma. So, really speaking, the Tirthayatra was coming home to oneself. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham 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 Shivoham